when you're actually chasing a stupid, unrealistic number, which then scares all the buyers away, so you don't get any buyers that come along. And I use this same sentence all the time to a vendor before I start an auction. If I've got 10 people registered, I say, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, I don't know what price you're going to get for your house today, but I can tell you 10 people won't get the price wrong. You're going to get market value. I hope that market value meets vendor value. And let me tell you, if you don't sell, it's because you want more than market value. So 9 out of 11, 9/11, that's not a good number, is it? But there are 3 things that destroy an auction campaign. And this is for all agents that are watching and also for the clients that are watching. Here are the 3 things that destroy a campaign. The first one is the buyer who makes an offer in the first week. The offer is a very good offer. That offer is then given to the vendor. The vendor either accepts it or sometimes doesn't, because they say, it's only been on the market for a few days. That buyer doesn't proceed because it wasn't a solid offer, in the sense that they just go hiding and disappear. You often go back to this buyer and say, oh yeah, the owners will take it, and they just go missing in action. And then that number dictates the mindset of the vendor for the rest of the campaign. And you often never get that number ever again. And the problem is, if that number was a weak offer, in the sense that it wasn't solid, they weren't signing a contract, it was just a verbal. So there's a big learning there, everyone. You get a pre-auction offer that you want an owner to consider, you get them to sign a contract. Because I'm sick and tired of being at an auction and we're about to put the deal together and the vendor turns around and says, Tom, we don't want to sell at that figure. We had $100,000 more in the first week. And then I look to the agent and I say, is that right? And they say, oh, sort of. It wasn't really a strong offer. Where's the buyer? Are they here today? I'll say to them. They say, no. Well, where are they? Oh, they sort of just disappeared. And what happens is these poor vendors have this belief that they rejected that offer in the first week and that they're going to get more, and they don't get more. Hi to everyone that's coming on, and New Zealand, good to see that you're there. Good to see you all. That's the first thing that destroys it. That's the first thing that destroys an auction. The second thing that destroys an auction is an agent that uses the wrong prices during the auction campaign. Particularly when you're going in and you overcook the property. And what I mean by overcook, when you're actually chasing a stupid, unrealistic number, which then scares all the buyers away, so you don't get any buyers that come along because they think to themselves, we're not going to pay that. And we know that most agents underquote, so it's probably way off the mark what we want to pay. Team, that's the second reason. Now, that does not mean that you should just listen to what I've said and go and underquote, because you know what my views on underquoting are. I think it's crap. I think it's rubbish. I think it's unnecessary. I think what good real estate agents do is they put out a big net in the first week and they attract as many buyers as possible by giving buyers hope with a buyer excite figure, and then let the marketplace work itself out over the coming weeks. And then good real estate agents then meet up with the buyers that are interested in bidding at auction 2 or 3 days before the auction and bring them up to speed on what the feedback has been on the campaign and what the market has been saying about the property. And often you'll find that that number is probably gone up a little bit. But I can't stand real estate agents that have buyers going to auctions thinking they're going to buy it for 300 grand less. You know that talk, quote them low, watch them go. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Give them hope, but don't be unrealistic. And make sure you don't break any laws in your state. And then the third reason why an auction campaign is disastrous is because of the coward agents that don't understand the auction system. You know, the kind of real estate agent that is too scared to look their vendors in their eyes during the campaign and don't get vendors to accept the reality of the market. And even the ones that do try and have hard conversations with vendors so they don't go win, expecting to win the lottery at an auction, even those that do it on the last week or two, it's too late. You got to do your vendor conversations early on. You've got to get pricing right week 1.5. Because if you don't do it then, half the campaign's over after that. That's where you get maximum eyeballs from 0 to day 7. That's where are most of the eyeballs. So team, that's the story. The winter is slowly going and spring is coming. It is the period where most real estate agents list and sell more property September, October, November than any other time. Team, let's get to work. Good to see you all. Signing off, Morris from the Philippines. In fact, I'm coming to the Philippines as an ambassador for Wingman because we're going to see our 400 remote professionals in 3-4 weeks, Morris. I'll be in Manila. Everyone, signing off, and stay well. And remember, to all the real estate agents, chill out. We're glorified telemarketers, not more than that. Don't make it bigger than what it is.